Welcome back to the Awakening Women podcast. In this episode, we're talking about the married single mother syndrome. And I did make that up. I don't know that it really exists, but hey, I'm making shit up as we go here. But really, I'm going to talk to you about what this is, how it shows up, and why it's not your fault. I know that if you're a mother and you are in a relationship with a potentially narcissistic partner, an emotionally unavailable partner, someone who is checked out and doesn't understand leadership in the home as a masculine man and father who is leaving you to carry the bag and the burden of everything in your household with kids, this is for you. This is specifically for moms because it is a different type of mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical load. As mothers, we carry children. This does change our bodies for life, right? We go through the hormonal shifts and hormonal changes, and we definitely have repercussions to our bodies from carrying and birthing and keeping kids alive with our bodies for however many years we did that. And so in that in itself is a type of labor that a man cannot do. And in my mind now, which I didn't really recognize at the time when I was raising young kids, that should be revered. And that should be something that a healthy man is able to recognize, that we are, women are putting in types of labor that they can't. And nowadays, women are working as well. And you are juggling work, kids, home, your health, your body, meals, grocery shopping, activities, and all of it. And you're married and you might be wondering why. Like, what is the benefit? You get to a place of awakening of what really is the benefit here other than just like, I'm here, I don't have to change anything, right? And you feel alone. And I don't even like to use the word partnered, right? Because it doesn't feel like you have a partner because you're carrying the entire weight of the emotional, logistical, and mental load of motherhood on your own. And this is where I came up with the married single mother syndrome, because it's a soul draining reality that so many women are silently just putting up with in their homes. So you might be working, earning an income, you're contributing financially, you're running the household, you're scheduling the dental and doctor appointments, you're managing your kids' behavioral problems, their tantrums, teens' moods, whatever it is that they're getting into. Perhaps you're having some problematic behaviors, which is not uncommon at all, and you are left to deal with the fallout of all of this. So maybe you're also within this booking counseling appointments for yourself and for them because you're just trying to keep your head above water. You're trying to stay emotionally available for your kids, but you feel like you're failing. And you wonder why you feel so damn depleted, anxious, or angry, like this rage that women can start to feel. I know I definitely have experienced this. And when you look around, everything should be fine, right? Everything looks okay. Maybe someone from the outside would say everything looks okay. You've got the house, the car, the kids, the husband, everything looks fine from the outside because technically he is there in body. But emotionally and relationally and in the home, he's checked out. Or worse, which is also common, is that he's actively sabotaging your efforts to create peace and structure in your home. So when you're trying to parent the kids, discipline them, have boundaries, have parameters, and say no to them, he will often sabotage those things. So when you're trying to get them wound down for bed, he will start wrestling with them or create a bunch of ruckus so you're not able to calm the kids down and get them to sleep. When the kids get older, you're still going to find that you are doing all of everything with them. You really do crave having that partner that you can have as a teammate, an actual co-parent. And a man who sees your exhaustion and then steps in with support, not I worked all day. it's one of those things that a man can say, well, I worked all day and you were home all day with the kids. But really it's, no, I worked. And then, so maybe you're working part-time and you're also full-time at home. But they see it as they work, they put a paycheck into the bank account. So when they come home, they shouldn't have to do anything else. And so instead of getting support, you're actually feeling your nervous system is on high alert because you're waiting for his mood, the shift in his energy, or another surprise that disrupts everything you tried to hold together in the home, something. You don't know, and that's where this eggshell walking can come in. One week he's charming, maybe he's engaged for a few days, and then the next he's withdrawn, he's more irritable, edgy, he's undermining the rules that you've set for the kids. I see this a lot with my clients who have men who work away, where they will say he's been out of town for the last week or 2 weeks, it's peaceful, and then I start to dread that he's coming back because I feel like I've actually created some rhythm and routine in our home, and then he comes back and messes it all up because he's not my team. He's not there to say, okay, let's get, we're going to keep the routine back. He often throws it off and brings the chaos, or he criticizes your parenting, but doesn't really have any solutions or input as in like, here's how I'm going to help. He might just blow up and get mad at the kids where you're trying to actually deal with it and address it. He will just get mad, and that creates more ruckus in the house and more chaos. He also questions your decisions, but leaves you to figure everything out. He has a lot to say, but he's not really doing a lot. And he expects loyalty, respect, and admiration while doing the bare minimum, if even that. And so then you try harder. You're bending more, you're silencing your needs, you're hoping this time he'll see how hard you've worked and he'll step up. He'll see you're exhausted. And you cling to that glimpse of the man that he could be or that he sometimes is. Meanwhile, your nervous system is quietly unraveling within. And here's the part that often isn't talked about, is that your kids feel this chaos too. They are actually in this cycle as well. They are connected to your nervous system as their mother. They grew in your body. And so even if their father isn't yelling, even if he's not physically abusive, even if you've mastered the art of keeping your shit together, even when everything is falling apart around you or he's doing whatever he's doing, you're clenching, you're the strong one, you keep going, you're getting the groceries, you're making the dinner, you're getting them ready for bed, you're whatever it is that you're doing, you are very good at bucking up and keeping it together, but yet still, he will have things to say about how it is not quite enough, how you could be doing a little better or a lot better. Your kids feel and are watching your energy. They feel your anxiety, and they're learning that love, partnership, and womanhood looks like this right now. This is what it looks like. And even if they don't say it because they're young and they don't know, they see the emotional labor that you are carrying. And it is impacting them, and sometimes you won't see it until their older years or when they've grown and they can articulate and actually reflect back and see the wisdom of what that was actually like to be raised in. And so I just want to really say here that while you might be feeling like the bad parent, that and sometimes what women will say is, I feel like I'm the bad parent and he's the good parent. And the kids take their emotions out on me. The kids act out toward me, but not him. So you're not a good mother because you're trying so hard to be the good mother. You're trying so hard to put them first within this dynamic. So it's not you, it's the dynamic, but that doesn't take the onus off of you for having to do something to change the dynamic. So remembering that he is probably sabotaging your parenting efforts, dismissing your boundaries, and then he acts shocked when the kids don't respect you either. They're not respecting what you're doing, and he has a lot to say about that. And he might say, oh, they don't act like that around me, or they don't act like that when you're not here. You plan something important. Maybe it's a girls' weekend, or maybe you have business or something that you have scheduled in a plan. And then suddenly he has to leave for work and you're going to have to figure it out. And so then you either have to scramble to find someone to take care of your kids, and maybe you don't have anyone. So oftentimes you are the one that has to make the provision and cancel whatever it was. He will make these things very difficult. When you're working, he will put his work priorities first, and then you are going to be left having to scramble to figure out childcare when he doesn't have to worry about that. It's these double standards. Like, their lives are not really impacted because all of the inconveniences that are part of parenting, they don't have to deal with that. They just think they're exempt and that you have to deal with it. So you're trying to enforce routines and he's mocking them or belittling them or making you seem like a bad mother, or you're too much, or you're crazy, or oh my gosh, you're no fun kind of stuff. So what you really are wanting is an equal partner, but then he gaslights you for being quote unquote too much. So this is how the married single mother syndrome eats away at your joy, your self-trust, your health, your body, your mental well-being, and your ability to show up for the ones that you love and the ones that matter the most. And this includes yourself. And the thing is, even though you can do it all, you're exhausted. You can't do it all. You can do it, but eventually something will give. And usually it's your body or some kind of crisis. This is the invisible crisis that no one prepares you for. But here's the thing. Your kids don't need a perfect mother. They need a resource mother. A mother who is filling her own cup, who feels supported. A mother who trusts herself enough to break these cycles and say, this ends now. No more of this. And it's no more self-betrayal. It's no more people-pleasing. It's no more pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's no more pretending the kids don't see what's going on when they clearly do. And this is what I help you inside of my coaching. And so if you're ready to take that next step, then I invite you to come over to Instagram and private message me and let me know what about this resonated, and we can discuss options for how you can work with me. This isn't about forcing your partner to change at all. This work that I do with women is about you finally reclaiming your inner stability, your inner peace, and your power, even with kids in the mix. You don't have to wait until you're at an absolute breaking point, rock bottom. Sometimes I think what can happen is women are waiting for it to get really, really bad before they do something about it. But I'm here to invite you to do something about it before then. Maybe that's where you already are. Maybe you are at that rock bottom place of, where do I even go from here? Like, you're living in chaos and it feels like just everything is falling apart all around you while you're still trying to juggle and keep everything going. So if this resonated, reach out to me and know that it is really difficult to be a mother, a good mother. And it's even more difficult when you have someone that appears as though they are actively working against you at every turn to make your job more difficult, when it is that you would want to have their father backing you so that the kids see that united, solid front. But instead, they see the division and they know this and they play off of you both, right? They start to play off of both of you because they see you're divided. You're not on the same page. And in fact, you have been positioned as the problematic one in the home. So you will notice that the kids will act out towards you. They start to think that you're the one causing the fights because the things that are happening are so covert that they maybe don't see or hear that stuff. They hear your reaction. They hear you losing your shit or getting upset, and then a fight starts. And so then they start saying, Mom, stop it. Like, Mom, they're trying to control the dynamic. It's a really sad thing, and it definitely has a huge impact on them. So if for nothing else, if you're ready to get that help, do it for your kids, because I've worked with enough women with older kids to validate that it is damaging them in a very big way, and you will have regrets. That's the sad part. You will have regrets about how long you stayed and kept them in it. That's the regret. And No shame. You've got to do the best you can with what you have. But if you've tried everything else, you've tried the therapy, which doesn't work with these men anyways, you've checked all the boxes for what it is that you know how to do, then it might be time to do something different. All right, that's it for this episode, and I'll chat with you soon. Bye for now.